Hello guys. So my nail popped off. These are press-ons, by the way. So just as I'm getting ready for this one popped off, so you guys are gonna have to forgive me for the lack of consistency during this video. I do apologize. I missed my Friday reads last week. It was the anniversary of my mom's passing and I was just not in a good frame of mind for me to be on here and doing Friday reads, so I missed that, and that's the reason why. But I'm back and I'll tell you what I managed to read last week. I always get so confused. Last week, and then what I managed to finish this week. And I also want to show you guys what I got in the mail this week as well. Why am I so confused? So I think I'll start with what I got in the mail this week. Jonathan Ball Publishers sent through a couple of books, 3 books to be exact, through to me this week, which I am quite looking forward to. I have never heard of any of these, to be quite honest with you guys, and I think one of them is non-fiction and the others are fiction. So let me just get into that. So I got these from Jonathan Ball Publishers. If you've heard of them, let me know down below if it's something that you think that I should rush to read, or if I can wait and get to it when I have the time. So the first book is Real Life by Brandon Taylor. It is fiction. It's a long listed book in the 2020 Booker Prize. I hadn't heard of it before, but I'm very excited. I think that I like the books that are usually shortlisted for the Booker Prize, and most of the time I'm very pleased with them. So I think this will be quite great. And then the second book that they sent me was Sensuous Knowledge by Mina Salami. Like I'm saying, I have not heard of any of these books before, and I am going to get into them, but if you guys think I should get into them urgently, then please do let me know, and then I will grab one of them soon. But like I'm saying, I'm willing to wait because I haven't heard of them. And then the last book that they sent me was Afterlives. Now I know I'm gonna butcher this author's name because, wow, Abdul Razak Guna, I think that's how you say his name. It says it's one of Africa's greatest living writers, and I have never heard of him. But this is me. I'm still getting acquainted with African writers, so do excuse. But those are the 3 books that Jonathan Ball sent me this week, which, if you guys have heard of any of them, let me know which one you think I should tag into first. So I'm very excited about that. Hi everyone. So to get into the books, I've already apologized about my nails, so I won't say that again. It's issues, guys. I don't want to even indulge you guys. So I want to get into the books that I read last week, because I didn't have a Friday reads last week. So the 2 books that I managed to finish the previous week were Chigozie Obiama's The Fisherman. This is his debut novel, and I had a discussion with him. He's a Nigerian author. He's based in America, in Nebraska. If you guys didn't tune into our live, which happened on the 31st of October, please do go over to my channel and see what we talked about. You can still participate, obviously, in that conversation. It's a timeless conversation, so I do wish you guys would go there and see what that was about. But he was a great person on the platform. We had a very nice discussion. So that's what I finished. This was a good book for me. I don't remember what I rated it, but it was about 4 stars, that's for sure. Either it was 4.5 or it was exactly 5 stars. So like I said, he's from Nigeria. This is his debut, which was shortlisted for the Booker Prize as well. And his second book is an orchestra of minorities, and that was also shortlisted for the Booker Prize. So you can already sense the kind of storyteller that he is. He's worth your while. I'd suggest that you grab that when you get a chance. And then the second book that I finished was the 3rd book in the Hlomu series. This is Naledi His Love. You guys know that I'm buddy reading this one with Pile from Bogamuso as well as Bookish Nontli. This was the best so far. This was a fave. I truly enjoyed Naledi His Love. People thought that I was going to be won over by Kawi's charms. I wasn't. I'm still Team Koki. Yes, thank you very much. So the 4th book, I do have it. I am probably gonna read it towards the end of the month. I'll start it at the end of the coming week, so I will not show that to you guys just yet. But this one was one of the best out of the three, so I definitely loved the first book because of how it sets up the story. The second book also felt like it could have been a novella. It was trying to show us a little bit of the family from a different vantage point, but this one was definitely one that would steal your heart. So this for me was a good 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really did love this, and I really love what Dudu is doing with this series, and I think I've communicated that to you guys in previous videos, so I don't want to reiterate, but I really do love what she's doing with this series. I've heard people saying that Ikunga, which is the 4th book, might be quite an opinion changer, but we shall see. We shall see. And those are the 2 books that I finished in the week that I couldn't catch up with you guys. And then this week, the 2 books that I finished were Dear Ijuele by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, which is a letter that she wrote to her friend who asked her how to raise her daughter feminist. So she has 15 points. In fact, the subtitle is A Feminist Manifesto in 15 Suggestions. So she's got 15 suggestions that she dishes out to her friend on how to live feminist and how to raise your child feminist. And while a lot of them I did resound with, there were some that I was not quite in tune with or in agreement with, but I loved the way in which this was written, obviously as a letter to a friend. I'm sure she revised a lot of it because obviously the connection that she has with her friend is not necessarily the same connection that she has with us, but she still had some very interesting points that had me introspecting, as well as had me questioning if I'm satisfied with the way that I am, never mind how I'm raising both my kids, because a boy and a girl can be both feminists, right? So I really enjoyed this one. It was a 4.5 or 4 out of 5, but it was not less than that. That's the book, one of the books that I finished, and I picked that one up because it is nonfiction November. I'm not very good with nonfiction, I don't want to lie to you guys. If I have to choose a genre within nonfiction, it's definitely memoirs. I enjoy memoirs a lot, but other than that, I really struggle with nonfiction, and it is what it is. It is what it is. And then the second book that I finished this week was Takalani Aims, Into the Sun, and this is her 4th book if I'm not mistaken, but it's the first book that I've read from her. I recently did a review. It was up on my channel yesterday actually, and if you guys want to find out what I thought about this book, please go over there and have a look. But it was a 3 out of 5 stars for me, and only because I felt like she could have done so much more with this book, and also that it could have been condensed to a very large degree. It did not need to be 400 and something pages long. But I also had like a little teaser on my channel on my Instagram yesterday, so if you want to get a sense of what it is that I talk about in that review, do visit my profile and see what it's about. Otherwise, do catch up with the review on my channel. So those are the 2 books that I finished this week. For those of you who've just come in, I did share the books that I got in the mail this week, and the books that I got were from Jonathan Ball Publishers. These are the 3 books, just to catch you up. It's Real Life by Brandon Taylor, and this is a 2020 long-listed book for the Booker Prize. I've never heard of it. If you guys think that I should tuck into it very quickly, please do let me know. And then the other book that they gave me was Sensuous Knowledge by Mina Salami. Also never heard of it, but it would be interesting actually to see. It's been described as intellectual soul food, which is quite interesting. And then the last book they sent me was Afterlives by, I'll try again, Abdul Razak Guna, and apparently he's one of Africa's greatest living writers. So those are the 3 books that I got in the mail. And then just to catch you up, so far this month, basically these are the books that I've read. I've read Into the Sun by Takalani Aims. It's the 4th book from her. It's the first book that I've read. I've read Dear Ijuele by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie in light of it being non-fiction November. And I read the debut novel from Chigozie Obiama, Nigerian author, The Fisherman, and we had a discussion on my channel on the 31st of October. So if you guys missed that one, please do go over there and have a look. And then I also finished the 3rd book in the Hlomu series, which is Naledi His Love. So right now what I'm focusing on, and I haven't actually only given one book attention in such a long time, but my main focus is gonna be Patsy. I'm not gonna have a free weekend, so I don't want to burden myself with another book. So this is the book that I'm currently reading, the book that I will be focusing on during the weekend. The other book that I would probably double into here and there is still Heavy. I haven't finished Heavy, and it's not because I hate it. I'm actually quite blown away by Keith's writing, but I just haven't had a chance to go back to it after I took a break. And that's why sometimes I just want to read a book and finish it and not take breaks, because then my momentum is broken. However, back to Patsy. I am only 53 pages in. So far it's very slow, I don't want to lie to you guys, but I've heard so many good reviews about it, and so many people have told me that I'm going to enjoy it. And some of my best books, I always say, have been slow burners, so I do believe that I'm probably going to enjoy it. But I really do wish it gets to the point where the pace picks up, because I do think that I am a pace reader. I really do like an author that sets up the pace. So I'm always fond of books with short chapters, books with a language that quickens, if you get what I'm trying to say, because it helps me read a little bit faster. But I'm told by Simole, who's on here, that it gets better after page 100. So I'm only 50 pages to 100, so I'm hoping today that I'll at least get to page 100, so that tomorrow I can spend the rest of the day reading this. But that's all I had to show you guys today. So what are you guys planning to read this weekend, currently reading, or have been reading in the past week? Let me just catch up on what you guys are saying. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. Words by Carolyn says, I'm still getting acquainted with so many writers too, right? So for me, especially this year, right, it's not like I didn't have authors from South Africa and Africa on my bookshelf. I did read from some, but it was not intentional really. I was still also dabbling in a lot of other things that I found interesting, and I still do. I pride myself in being a diverse reader, but this year I made a conscious decision to focus on the continent, and I'm telling you guys, I've found such great pearls. Like, I've had the most fun, and I've never hit my target, my reading target, and passed it in any year. And I think that, yes, of course, it's because of the pandemic, but also it's because I've been having so much fun while reading. So my target for this year was 30 books, and the last book that I read was the Chimamanda book, and that put me on book number 35. So when I finish Patsy, it will be 36, and I'm so excited about that, because it's just a reflection on how great the reading year has been for me. So and the thing is, I think when you are surrounded with people who know these authors and who want to give you access into the lovely stories that they've come across, it's a bit easier than if, let's say, you are in a circle where you're ashamed for not knowing certain authors. Then that's a different story, because then it will take you longer to trust yourself with content from those authors. So moral of the story, surround yourself with great people who want to show you the way. Smoller says, no, it's later says, Naledi, his love, you loved it too. Oh, you loved Naledi as well. Yes, so far, because I've only read 3, that's my favorite one. However, funny enough, fine, people said I would fall for Kawe. I didn't. Sorry guys to disappoint you guys. He's great and all, but I didn't fall for him. I liked Naledi a lot. As much as she's, I love the fact that these people are flawed. I think that's the thing that I love the most about the series. But as much as she's flawed, I really fell for her more than I fell for Kawe. But my ultimate MVP, like the OG, Klomu is my girl. I don't care who says what. Klomu takes the cup. Any book that she's given so far, Klomu is still like the #1. She's the queen. She's killing it. Okay, so Simole says I should try Afterlives. Okay, so I will put it by my bedside. I won't promise it will be this month though, because I've got quite a few other books that I want to get through, but I'll put it on my bedside as a suggestion. And I did say that these Booker Prize long listed and shortlisted books end up being such favorites for me, so I will trust that. Hi Afrocentric Lit. You loved reading Chimamanda and the Fisherman. Yes, those, like Nigeria guys, like I keep saying to you guys, and I know that it's becoming such a big deal right now in the literature space. People are talking a lot about Nigerian authors and their storytelling, but it's not for nothing. Like, they really have something there in the way in which they tell stories. I have not come across a Nigerian author whose work I have not enjoyed. So both Chigozie and Chimamanda are from Nigeria, and grab it. Actually, I'm only left with Chimamanda's short stories. That's the only book of hers that I haven't read. It's only because I had her collection as ebook format, so I bought them via ebook, which is the biggest regret. Next year I'm buying the hard copies. But of her books so far, though, I will tell you, if you have not read Half of a Yellow Sun, do yourself a favor. That's my favorite book from her so far. And I guess books of this nature have a tendency to become very preachy, very prescriptive, even if the author tells you that I'm not trying to prescribe, I don't know that much for me to be able to say this much, but this is what I have observed of life, and this is what I would tell you if you asked. It still gets to a point where you feel like it's very prescriptive, and for me, I think that's the thing that got me a little bit I'm like, okay, I don't do well with those kind of things, but she's got very good points in here nonetheless. Lelo says she can't wait for the review of Patsy. It looks interesting. So many people have loved it, and I haven't read from the Caribbean, so this is the first book that I've read from the Caribbean. And I don't know about you, Simole, but are you enjoying the kind of I want to say language, but how they speak, right? Because she's written in the same manner in which they speak. Sometimes that jars me in a book in which I'm not familiar. So in South African books, if you use any kind of slang or any other language that I have heard before, it's easy for me to read it. But in as much as I know this Jamaican accent and how they use their words and shorten their words and roll their words, I still have a difficulty trying to bring that to life in my mind. I don't know if I'm the only person who struggles with things like that, but it doesn't make it awful, if you get what I'm trying to say. Sometimes I enjoy that a lot in books. Yes, Simole, you're definitely reading Patsy. You better be reading Patsy. In fact, tonight I'm gonna check if I haven't caught up with you yet. Afrocentric Lit says they're reading For Want of a Totem by Vivian Ndlovu. I've never heard of it. What's it about? How are you finding it? Yep, Nigerian writers are so good. They really are. And I think it's for me, I think it's how their storytelling. It's not necessarily how the words that they use, and I don't even think it's the stories that they pick, but it's how they tell the stories. There's something there that is so exceptional. And obviously I think it's also telling of people who grew up hearing stories. I bet you there are a lot of folklore stories in Nigeria that these writers have honed into in terms of the culture of actual storytelling. Their books are almost the kind of books that you can sit with somebody and read out loud. And I don't believe that all books can be read out loud. I really don't. But I think that these kind of stories are the kind of stories that you can even reimagine in your mind, store them in your head, and tell them to somebody else at a later stage. They almost urge you to. They want you to retell them. It's quite magical, actually. I haven't come across any writers from a specific country that I feel like that's how good their stories are. Words by Carolyn says that's a good one. I'm thinking you're talking about Real Life by Brandon Taylor. Is that the one that you're saying is a good one? Have you read her new short story Zikora? Oh, you were talking about Chimamanda. No, I haven't read anything. I've only read Half of a Yellow Sun, Americana, obviously the other feminist book, this feminist book, as well as, what's the other one with the flowers? Purple Hibiscus. So those are the ones that I've read. Simone says Zimbabwean authors are also really good. So this year, what was the book that we read? Because I really liked it. It is House of Stone. I enjoyed House of Stone a lot. So I'm willing to give them a chance. The one book that I had from a Zimbabwean author I read so long ago that I really don't, and I think that I was probably ending my teen years when I read that, so I don't really have this. By Yvonne Vera, I don't really have a great understanding of what kind of authors come from Zimbabwe, and I'm definitely willing to do that. What I told myself is that now that I've given myself a scope of the continent this year, like a taste from at least more than 1 or 2 countries, I think I'm gonna hone in on different countries, and I'm gonna try and reduce my Nigerian intake so that I can get to explore authors from other countries as well within the continent. So I will definitely consider Zimbabwe on that list. I'm lying. I also read a lot from Sue. I'm only left with her latest book, and she's really good. I like how she writes. I think I like the drama in her writing. I really enjoy that. Like I was saying, I'm a person who really thrives off pace. I need an author to pace me, and she does that for me very, very well. So yes, I understand what you're saying. So if Sue is a taste of that, as well as Novuyo Rosa Chuma, then I think I'm in agreement. That is annoying you. Yeah, here at the beginning, I don't want to lie to you guys, I'm also so very annoyed, but I'm willing to have my mind changed. So I'm heading on with an open mind, but she is annoying me as well. I don't want to lie to you. Hi Puling. Afrocentric Lit says she's Zim based, and the book is about this married couple that wants to conceive so badly, and they eventually do, but the kids pass away at some point, and builds on that. You know, I've been seeing a lot of this trend about either difficulty to conceive, or well, it's the same thing, barrenness and fertility. It seems like African authors, especially African female authors, are writing a lot. They hint at that at some extent, to some extent a lot lately, and I saw that also in the short story collection by Leslie Arima. What is it? What happens when a man falls from the sky? What it means when a man falls from the sky. She touched on that quite a bit, and I wonder if it comes from a place of trying to correct our perception of this whole thing as African women and as African society. But that's quite interesting. I've never heard of the author of the book though, but that is definitely something that's worth looking into. Simone says, hey dude, if you can tell me how to pronounce this guy's name, okay, I'd be so happy. Please send me a voice note. I have no idea what I'm saying. Abdul Razak Guna, guys, forgive me, that's who she's talking about. It's from Tanzania. Okay. So yeah, we are reading The Continent. Thank you. I'm so glad they gave me something from Tanzania. This one was from Jonathan Ball, for those of you who are just coming in. And Simole is saying he's Tanzanian. I'm very excited about that, very excited. So I haven't read Stay With Me. I've seen it around, and sometimes, you know what, I love seeing books that are doing the rounds on IG, on YouTube and all these platforms, but sometimes I'm just so scared that I might not enjoy them. And because I'm not one to look at what a book is about fully before I tuck into it, I'm so scared that I've obviously been influenced, right? So I've seen this doing the rounds, I've been influenced, I pick up the book, and I'm so scared that I'm not gonna like it. But I've heard great things. Well, I've seen a lot of people that I respect posting Stay With Me, so I would hope that's a sign. I would hope that's a sign, but I haven't read it at all. Hi Ompile, yes, you are late, and I'm about to do do the final what's this recap, right? So first I showed you the guys that they're no guys. I swear to you, there are no guys. I showed you the books that I got from Jonathan Ball this week. So the first one is Realized by Brandon Taylor. This is the one Simole thinks I should tuck into first. And then the next one was Sensuous Knowledge by Mima Salami. And then they sent me Afterlives by the guy whose name I don't know how to pronounce, from Tanzania. Now that I know that, I can just escape the name and just say he's from Tanzania. And then in the week that I couldn't catch up with you guys, I managed to finish Chigozie Obiama's The Fisherman, which is his debut novel. And then I also finished the third book in the Hlomu series, which is Naledi His Love by Busani-Dube. And then this week I finished Chimamanda Ngozi's Feminist Manifesto, Dear Ijuele, as part of my non-fiction reading for this month of November. And then I also finished Into the Sun. So thank you so very much, guys, for joining in. I always truly appreciate these moments, and for you taking your time, using your data, and chilling with me for a little bit. I really truly appreciate it. And until next Friday, I'll try and make sure that I'm here. But the beginning of the video explains to you guys why I wasn't here last Friday. So it's not that I don't want to be here, but I just couldn't be here. But other than that, thank you so very much for joining in. Enjoy your weekend. Yes, have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your reading this weekend. We're almost at the end of the year, so I'm hoping that you guys are finding leisure reads. I was saying how I'm so psyched up for actually fluffy reading. I really want summer reads now. I'm tired of even the way that this year has gone. I just want something light and fluffy, and since everybody has been getting me into romance, maybe I'll look out for a bit more romance on my shelf, because I'm not buying books anymore for the rest of this year. So I'm just gonna look for like the summer reads and just unwind, relax, enjoy yourselves. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Bye.